Most smile makeover regrets don't happen in the chair, they happen before the first appointment. I'm Dr. Larry Doherty, and after 17 years of doing natural looking smile makeovers, I've seen how people end up with teeth that feel too big, too white, or just not them, and they're shocked because the mistake happened long before any drilling ever started. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the one decision most people skip before treatment, the step that determines whether you love your smile every time you look in the mirror or quietly avoid photos afterwards. Recently, I met a new patient, let's call her Rachel, who told me she wanted to fix her teeth because she just needed a change. But as we kept talking, it became clear it was about much more than cosmetics. She was coming out of a difficult divorce. Her kids were in their late teens, and for years she put her own needs, especially her smile, on the back burner while she took care of everyone else. Pretty common story. Her confidence had taken a real hit. She wasn't trying to get new teeth. She was trying to feel like herself again. At one point she said to me, I want to look in the mirror and see a smile that actually reflects who I am. And that's the part most people skip. Your why determines everything about your smile design. When you don't get clear on your real motivation, it's easy to end up with a smile that's too bold, too subtle, or just doesn't feel like you at all. Getting honest about why you want a smile makeover is the first step to getting results you don't just like, but genuinely connect with. A few years ago, I had a patient, we'll call him John. He came in and said, I just want my teeth to look natural. And at the time, I was experimenting with some early smile design software. Honestly, I didn't even love it yet. It looked a little fake to me when I put it in the software and did the simulation. During his consult, I pulled his photo up on the screen and started dropping in different tooth options. And by complete accident, I put on these really big, really white teeth. And I immediately thought, oh, that's not good. But John looked at the screen and said, that's exactly what I want. Can you do that? And that moment caught me completely off guard. But it ended up teaching me one of the most important lessons in cosmetic dentistry. Here's the truth. Natural means something different to everyone. For some people, natural means bright, youthful, bold. And for others, it means softer shapes, gentle translucency, subtle changes. If you don't clearly define your version of natural ahead of time, you're relying on someone else's interpretation. And that's how people walk away thinking, these don't feel like me. When we finished John's case, he looked incredible. Those big white teeth fit his face perfectly. And they looked completely natural on him, even though the same smile would look forced on someone else. That's why the goal isn't one perfect smile. It's the right smile for the right person. I'm gonna tell you another story about another patient, we'll call her Nina, and she drove more than 3 hours to see me. When I asked her why she didn't pick a dentist closer to home, she told me that they always come to San Antonio to go shopping and for other doctor appointments, and so she didn't really think much of choosing a dentist in San Antonio. Later in our conversation, she said, actually, I did go to another dentist, and I almost made a huge mistake. She had gone to another cosmetic dentist in her area, but when she looked at the portfolio of other cases the doctor had treated, every smile had the same look, the same shape, the same length, the same shade. She said, the dentist is really good, everyone loves him, but everything he does looks exactly the same, like a cookie cutter, and I didn't want to look like all the photos that he had. She realized it wasn't about convenience, it was about style. So without getting too froofy about this, smile makeovers are part art, part dentistry. You shouldn't choose a cosmetic dentist based on location, insurance, or price. For some basic fillings or getting your teeth clean, sure, those are major factors to consider. When it comes to life-changing cosmetic procedures, you should choose based on whether their aesthetic matches the style you want. If you don't love their past work, you won't love your future smile. A patient, we'll call him Marcus, he came in absolutely convinced he needed veneers. He'd even written, I'm here to get veneers on his intake form. And he told my assistant he'd saved up cash and was ready to pay that day. He was all in, you know? But once I examined his teeth, it was clear the issue wasn't structural. He had some mild crowding, little staining, nothing that actually required veneers. So I told him, you might not need veneers at all. He looked shocked and said, my last dentist told me I needed veneers and that I wasn't a candidate for Invisalign. In reality, what Marcus needed was much simpler, whitening and a small amount of orthodontic correction. I told him, let's whiten and straighten first. If you still want veneers after that, I'm happy to do them, but I don't think that's the solution to your problem. And this is the part most people don't hear enough. Veneers are not the only path to a great smile. Depending on your teeth, the best solution might be whitening, Invisalign, gum contouring, or a combination of those. Sometimes you need one, sometimes more than one, and sometimes none. It took me years to really develop strong diagnostic skills, but now it's what I'm most proud of as a dentist. Because when you understand your real options, you avoid unnecessary and irreversible treatment, and you end up with results that actually make sense for you. One of the most heartbreaking cases I've seen was a patient named Lily. She had some veneers done in Mexico, hoping to save some money, but even years later, pain was still fresh. The way she talked about it, you'd think she'd had it done just a couple weeks ago. When I asked her if she'd seen a design or a mock-up beforehand, she looked genuinely surprised. She didn't even know that was an option. Her teeth were prepped in the morning, the lab rushed the case overnight, and the veneers were delivered the next day. There was no mock-ups. There weren't even any temporaries. She was sent home with her teeth prepped and nothing protecting them. The results didn't fit her, the shape didn't match her lips, and the length felt wrong. She joked that she looked like Bucky, but what hurt most wasn't the way the veneers looked. It was that she never had the chance to say, "This isn't what I want." And honestly, a lot of patients are too afraid to say that to their dentist. Here's the step that prevents most regret. Before anything becomes permanent, you should be able to preview your smile. That might be through digital mock-ups or temporary veneers, but either way, you need a chance to see it, feel it, give feedback. If you can't preview it, you can't control it. Temporaries are where you say things like, "These feel too long," or "They don't show when I smile," or "This doesn't feel like me." And those conversations only happen when there's real trust and open communication with your dentist. Because a smile makeover shouldn't be something that happens to you, it should be something you help create. If you're thinking about a smile makeover, remember, the most important decision happens before you even sit in the chair. Get clear on your why. Define your version of natural. Choose a dentist whose style matches your vision. Understand all your options. And never move forward without a preview. If this is what you're looking for, book a consultation with me. I'd love to help you. There's many things to consider when it comes to veneers, especially budget. A custom design, handcrafted smile is a significant investment for most people. Watch this next video where I break down how much porcelain veneers really cost.